Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com here. Today I'm going to be talking about NIO. I'm going to give you my price prediction for NIO for the next 5 years and just sort of do an analysis and forecast like I have been doing in these videos. If you guys are interested in seeing my other price prediction videos, I'll put links to those in the description. I've done Monero, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. So I've done several now, and I guess it's sort of becoming a series on my channel. But today we're going to be focusing on NIO, and I think that it is one of the better cryptocurrencies out there right now. Maybe not the best, but it definitely has some great potential and backing. So first off, NIO is in the top 10, which is great to see. I think it's going to stay in the top 10. And I actually wanted to mention right off the bat that I think that NIO, IOTA, and Monero are actually some of the cryptocurrencies in the top 10 that I see moving upwards, right? And getting closer to maybe the 5th position. So that's something to pay attention to. These three have some good potential, I think, and are a little bit less shady, I guess, and they make more sense to me, if that is a good way to put it. But otherwise, some other stuff about NIO. Today is having a little bit of a rough day, right? Down 8%, and this is something that's been pretty common that I've seen a lot with NIO, is some big drops, right? And that brings me to sort of my next point, which is NIO is, it has its positives, right? The low supply, only 50 million right now out there. Total supply is 100 million, so this is a little bit on the higher side, but we're not there yet, and this is still reasonable. It's not overdoing it, but right now it's at a nice low supply still. Good volume transacted in the past 24 hours. This is obviously because of the drop, but I do seem to recall that it has some decent volume, right? So this is always good to see. And as far as the potential growth, right, it's only at a $1.6 billion market cap, which is, pretty low. I mean, it depends how you sort of where you see cryptocurrencies heading in the future and if they'll really make it, but it's pretty low. I mean, any of these big name cryptocurrencies that are still in the $1 billion, $2 billion range still have a lot of room to grow if they do take off, right? So this really means that it's pretty, it doesn't have that many limiting factors as far as market cap goes. So that's good. As far as the sort of negative aspects of NIO, right? The first thing that I wanted to mention was, oh, and by the way, actually, before we get into the negatives, I did want to sort of praise the NIO Reddit community, right? 30,000 readers, which is great. And I mean, this might be a little bit of a weird way to judge these cryptocurrencies, but I think that it's a good way to do it because you really see the actual adoption and backing by the people, right? And 30,000 followers of NIO on the subreddit. There's a lot of these cryptocurrencies over here that don't have the same following, So NIO is actually pretty high up there. But back to the negative aspects, right, that I wanted to mention with NIO. These might be some personal concerns. By the way, NIO was previously Answers, but started in 2016 here, got some good traction going, right, and it really took off. It had its pretty big pullback. Climb back up again, and right now it's hanging around $33. But the concern with NIO is, and it's sort of a double-edged sword here, is that NIO is sort of focused on the Chinese/Asian market, right? You may have heard it being called the Chinese version of Ethereum because of its sort of similar smart contract type thing that it has going on, and that's great. We all know the success of Ethereum, and I think that it'll play in their favor that they're targeting the Chinese market, right? The only problem with that is that it comes with some instability that some of the other cryptos don't have, right? These sharp drops and stuff, that's the Chinese market right there, and also just, it's going to be very susceptible to Chinese regulations. And just, I guess, Asian regulations in general, right? So when we had all the China drama last week about banning ICOs, or I guess a week or two ago, You know, it definitely took a hit there, I remember. So that's sort of the I guess the danger with NEO is that it is very reactive to any news, any China related news, right? So it's a little bit of a whole different ball game and market that some of these others are playing in, right? But like I said, there is an upside to that where the Chinese market is huge, right? And if the government or, you know, NEO could be favored in Asia and in China over other cryptocurrencies, and and just on their own are able to make people adopt it, you know, if this sort of becomes one of the main cryptocurrencies in China, this you know, brings huge possibilities for NEO growth-wise, right? Massive market in China, obviously, right? So, like I said, this is a very small market cap for something with that potential value. As far as the actual price action goes, it peaked at 43, right? 48 all-time high. And, you know, like I said, right now, I would like to see it sort of, well, I guess it has actually broken out of this downtrend right here, which is good, right? We have to see what happens here, but hopefully this is just a pullback. But for now, you know, if you look at it right now, this whole area seems like a good buying opportunity, actually. You know, it had its dip, but now it's climbing back up pretty nicely, and the big downtrend right over here has actually been broken out of, okay? So like I was saying, this seems to just be a nice buying opportunity for the cryptocurrency. And where do I think it'll be heading sort of the next couple months, next 2 years, next 5 years? And to be honest, I mean, I can't predict the future, right? And this is definitely one of the cryptocurrencies that has a bit of an uncertain future because it's in a different sort of playing field than the others, like I mentioned. But if everything goes well, right, I think we can see it reattempt the $50 area, right? Hopefully break above that, and basically, I think that, you know, NEO might be capped by Ethereum, obviously. If you want to look at it like that, since it's the Chinese Ethereum, I doubt that'll grow bigger than Ethereum. But once again, the Chinese market is huge, right? So it depends how things pan out. But you know, next couple years, I think we'll see it move towards 2-3 billion in the next 2-3 years for sure. And then the next 5 years, you know, I think it'll be maybe somewhere around 5 billion, and then at best maybe, you know, somewhere in between 5 to 10 billion, right? So if you want the actual price, I guess you could say, you know, around $200, give or take, right? It could be 250 and stuff, but I think that's a reasonable area if things go well, right? And as per usual, the one thing that you don't want to see happen in these cryptocurrencies is them breaking out of their uptrend that's been going really good so far. But yeah, like I said, NEO does have some risks where, you know, it could get hit by some kind of regulation in the country that creates a lot of panic. So, you know, I mean, just over here, you know, you saw what can happen with it. It moves fast, right? It's very reactive, and that's just sort of how this coin works, right? But you know, it's a good coin. Like I said, it has multiple positives with it compared to some of the others in this top 10. So you know, I like the coin. Like I said, I guess $200 area would be a nice place to see the coin within 5 years. There is one more thing that I thought I'd mention about NEO that I think is really nice about this cryptocurrency is that I see a lot of people in comment sections and forums, you know, just mentioning, and not even in NEO related topics, but, you know, just saying, yeah, I hold NEO in my portfolio with their other holdings, and people recently purchasing NEO and stuff like that. So I think that's an interesting point to look at, is that it seems like people do have this cryptocurrency in their portfolios, which is really good to see. And, you know, I also have seen big community members in the cryptocurrency community sort of backing the coin, especially during this dip, and purchasing it here. People that I think to be trustworthy. So, you know, I think that is another great thing about this coin, is that it does, you know, like I said, have the backing, have the, well, I mean, maybe not the big adoption yet, but it has the financial backing, I guess, and the community backing. So that's great to see. And yeah, let me know if you have noticed that too. So let me know your thoughts on Neo, and I'd be interested to hear those. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching.